1, 2, 3, come on!
Come on, come on.
Good morning students, this is PK sir, your chemistry sir, welcoming you in the last part of the chapter solution. Earlier we have discussed many important things, colligative properties, solubility, etc. Okay, now in the last video we were discussing about reverse osmosis. Okay, and with the help of reverse osmosis we obtain pure water, okay, for drinking purpose or for any purpose, but that water is pure. Okay, now see here, this is special that SPM, semi permeable membrane, and this membrane is very it should be very strong so that it can tolerate, it can bear the pressure, because here we require high pressure for this purpose. Okay, so generally this semi permeable membrane is made up of cellulose acetate, okay, that can bear strong force, strong pressure. Okay, so this was the last topic. Now next is the 2.7 unit. Okay, let me tell you that this unit, that is 2.7 abnormal molar mass, although this unit has been removed from the syllabus, from the curriculum for the session 2021, but still for competitive purpose, for competitive exam purpose, you should learn, you should study this one, because in exams sometime, in competitive exams sometime it is asked. Okay, so I am also taking a video of this 2.7. so let us study this 2.7. Yes, so this is the next unit, that is abnormal molar masses. So far we have discussed colligative properties. Okay, now especially this abnormal molar mass is related with the colligative properties. Okay, now here in this case, okay, two important concepts are there. One is association and second one is dissociation. What is the meaning of dissociation and what is the meaning of here association? So the meaning of dissociation means to break into some parts, and association means to unite, okay, from parts. Now association is what? Look here, when we are talking about an electrolyte, what is the meaning of electrolyte? Generally, I am saying generally, all the salts, all the salts are considered as good electrolyte. Generally all the salts are considered as good electrolyte. Okay, so when you are dissolving an electrolyte, for example you are taking NaCl, sodium chloride, or whether you can take KCl, that is also a salt. So most of the salts are good electrolyte. Suppose you are taking sodium chloride or potassium chloride and you are dissolving in any solvent, especially water. So when you are dissolving, it is polar solvent, water is a polar solvent, so this is also a polar compound. So when you are dissolving this sodium chloride or potassium chloride in water, then what happens? Sodium chloride, that is solid, it will disintegrate into ions in the form of aqueous state and Cl minus, that is chloride ion. Okay, one sodium chloride, okay, 1 mole of sodium chloride is giving you 2 moles of ions. Here if initially you are taking 1 mole, then this is formed 1 mole of sodium ion and this is also formed and it is also forming 1 mole of Cl minus ion. So 1 mole of solute as sodium chloride is giving you 2 moles of particles. Okay, here number of solute particles are increased in the solution. Number of solute particles are increased in the solution. Okay, so this case is called dissociation. Okay, now what is the meaning of association? Especially we are talking about acetic acid, CH3C double bond OOH. Okay, when you are taking CH3COH as a solute, when you are taking acetic acid as a solute in benzene solvent, benzene is C6H6 as a solvent. Benzene is being used here as a solvent. So in benzene, this acetic acid, okay, the molecules of this is the condition that between oxygen and hydrogen, a special type of bonding is formed, and that formed bonding is called hydrogen bonding here. So because of this hydrogen bonding, the number of molecules of acetic acid are decreased, just it becomes half. How? Because now 2 molecules are behaving as 1 unit. Okay, this is called dimerization. Di means 2, mer means units. When 2 units of acetic acids are combined together with the help of hydrogen bonding, then this process is called dimerization, and this also affects the colligative property or the molar mass which is predicted by normally. Okay, which is predicted normally. So in this case, means in case of dissociation and association, the normal calculated molar mass are different as we get it from the expected behavior. Okay, so such a molar mass that is either lower or higher, from the expected normal value, that is called abnormal molar masses. Okay, so this is because of dissociation or association. Okay, abnormal molar masses. Now next, in 1880 AD, First of all, Van 't Hoff introduced a factor that is called I. Van 't Hoff introduced a factor that is called I, and this is called also Van 't Hoff's factor. Okay, it is used to calculate, or it is used to find out the extent of dissociation or association. Okay, now if we are using this one, then I can be calculated in the 3 ways: normal molar mass, upon abnormal molar mass. This is the first expression for I. Second expression for I. Now first expression is in the form of molar mass, If we are talking about colligative property, then observed colligative property upon calculated colligative property. This is the third form of this formula. Next one is, so first expression is based on molar mass, second is based on colligative property, and then the third one is total number of particles Third one is based on total number of particles. Total number of particles after dissociation or association. Okay, and here total number of particles before dissociation or association. So these are the three expressions in the form of Van 't Hoff's factor, Okay, so now after using these Van 't Hoff factors, our expressions for colligative properties are also changed. Let us see how. The first colligative property was relative lowering of vapor pressure, and the expression for one was P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught is equal to N2 upon N1. This was the expression for normal molar mass. Now when we introduce Van 't Hoff factor, then it is simply multiplied by I. This was the expression for relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here I is what? The value of I is called, this is called Van 't Hoff factor. Okay. Next one was elevation of boiling point, and for this one that we used delta TB, and delta TB is equal to KB into M. KB is what? Constant. Okay, and small m is molality, and it is also multiplied by I. Then the next one was delta TF. Delta TF is equal to, again it is multiplied by, and the fourth one was what? Pi, that is osmotic pressure. Generally formula is pi is equal to CRT. This is the trick for remembering cathode ray tube. Osmotic pressure, pi is equal to CRT. C for concentration, R for universal gas constant, T for temperature in Kelvin. Okay, now for simple trick, CRT, cathode ray tube. Now here this C can be converted into, you can also put here I, or you can convert it C into mole upon volume, and then R, then T. Okay, so these are the four expressions for abnormal molar masses. Okay, so you should remember all these things. Okay, by introducing Van 't Hoff's factor, the formulas are changed in this way. Okay, now the value of I, generally, what am I saying? The value of I, that is Van 't Hoff factor, is depending upon the concentration. Okay, if the solution is concentrated, then the value of I will be less. Okay, in case of dissociation, for example NaCl, KCl, like that. Okay, and once the concentration is decreased, the value of I is also increased. In your textbook there is one table, that is table 2.4. in that table many data of I are given. Okay, just you see the table and you will see that many things about the electrolytes, and in case of dissociation, and the value of KCl, and what you call that, acetic acid in benzene. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. Okay, in this chapter so far we have not solved any problem, not a single problem we have not solved. So now it's time to have a open, what you call that, suggestion. Okay, that we should solve all the problems. In that includes in-text problems, and exercise, chapter exercise. Okay, so these in text problems and exercise, comment in the comment box. Let us have another session of this one. If the number of comments are good enough, then we will be having a live, okay, we will be having a live session, that is for problem solving session. Okay, so this is the end of the video and this is the end of the chapter. If you have any doubt, please write in the comment section. I will be discussing, I will be answering all the questions, all the problems regarding this chapter. Okay, so keep revising, and for previous videos you can see the I buttons. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Take care and bye bye.